Thanks for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Mark Martin. A new Congress is being sworn in our nation's capital today. For the first time in a while, Republicans will have control of both the Senate and the House, as well as the White House. As George Thomas reports, GOP lawmakers say they are preparing to deliver on a long list of electoral promises, including repealing and replacing Obamacare.
Republicans have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
The American people spoke and signaled that they're ready for a new direction.
That new direction begins today as the 115th Congress opens for business. Republicans in full control of both chambers and the White House for the first time in almost a decade say they are eager to get to work. Top on the agenda, scrapping Obama's signature piece of legislation.
We'll work to repair the damage of Obamacare, a law that was sold on broken promises to the American people, a law that has led to soaring premiums, failing insurance markets, and dwindling choices.
Then there's the confirmation of Donald Trump's cabinet nominees. Democrats are vowing not to make it easy. The Washington Post reporting that Democrats are planning to target at least 8 of Trump's 15 cabinet picks. But whether it's facing a challenging confirmation process or battles over Supreme Court picks, former House Speaker Newt Gingrich worries the new incoming administration might lose their nerve in taking on the Democrats.
I mean, look, they're going to arrive in Washington, and for them to be successful, they have to stake out positions that Donna will not like and the left will hate. I'm worried that when they realize how big the problem is, that they decide that they're just going to do the best they can and give in.
And congressional Republicans have already taken one action Democrats are protesting, reining in the Independent Congressional Ethics Office and putting it under the oversight of the House Ethics Committee. Supporters say it strengthens the current setup, but top Republicans worry the move could look bad given Trump's promise to, quote, drain the swamp in Washington. Meanwhile, Trump will face a slew of foreign policy challenges, from how to deal with Russia, especially in light of the controversy over hacking during the presidential election, something Trump isn't convinced they had a hand in.
I know a lot about hacking, and hacking is a very hard thing to prove, so it could be somebody else.
To fighting ISIS, to the ongoing chaos in Syria, and now North Korea, which just announced on New Year's Day that it was close to test launching an intercontinental ballistic missile that can reach the U.S. On Monday, Trump tweeted, "It won't happen." George Thomas, CBN News.
In other news, the suspected Istanbul terrorist is reported to have taken a selfie video during the attack that killed 39 people at a nightclub in Turkey on New Year's Eve. Turkish media are running a selfie video of a man they are calling the gunman. The video shows the killer smirking while filming in the central area of Istanbul, but it is not clear if it was taken before or after the massacre. The Islamic State is taking credit for the killings, saying Christians were targeted in, quote, revenge for God's religion. The Charleston shooter Dylan Roof has been declared competent to be his own lawyer at his sentencing hearing. Roof murdered 9 black people at a Bible study in 2015. He will face the same jury that found him guilty of 33 federal charges. On Wednesday, the group will determine if he should be sentenced to death or get life in prison. Roof will act as his own lawyer, but cannot approach witnesses or the jury. He will also be sitting in a chair farthest from the jury and victims' family members. The 22-year-old plans to provide no evidence and call no witnesses. Parts of the South are getting hit with more rain after severe storms took the lives of 4 people in Alabama. Authorities say a tree fell on their mobile home in southeast Alabama Monday evening, the apparent result of a tornado. Authorities say 7 people were inside the home at the time.
You know, there's a lot of people that will be affected by this, and of course there's a lot of compassion there. Have great responders throughout this community that have spent a lot of time here.
The twister damaged parts of Houston County in Alabama, about 7 miles north of the Florida Panhandle. The line of severe thunderstorms in the Deep South produced several possible tornadoes, and residents in southern Alabama, southwest Georgia, and the Florida Panhandle continued to face that threat early Tuesday. Donald Trump is promising to get rid of the Johnson Amendment. It prevents churches and nonprofit groups from supporting or opposing political candidates. And with the backing of the new president, Congress could repeal it this year. Most Americans had never heard of the Johnson Amendment until the election. But as Abigail Robertson reports, one congressman has been fighting against it for more than a decade.
Early in his campaign, Donald Trump sent a clear signal to evangelicals.
One of the early things, one of the absolute first things I'm going to do is work on totally knocking out the Johnson Amendment.
A controversial law used to restrict pastors' political speech from the pulpit. Senator Johnson introduced the amendment in 1954, an election year, when two Texas nonprofits supported his primary opponent. He proposed a law that denies tax-exempt status to any 501c3, including houses of worship, that influence or intervene in a political campaign.
It had nothing to do with churches, but this is what they call unintended consequences of law.
Congressman Walter Jones has moved to overturn it each year since 2001, after he noticed the IRS monitoring people of faith during the 2000 election.
It's kind of like Big Brother listening to what the minister or priest or rabbi might be saying in this situation.
He began to hear stories of churches being challenged by the amendment and afraid of losing their tax-exempt status.
All the complaints never actually come from within the church. It's from somebody outside the church.
Other critics like Jay Sekulow believe the amendment threatens freedom of speech.
The Johnson Amendment basically was a muzzle on the First Amendment rights of churches.
Sekulow argues the purpose of the IRS is to collect revenue for the general treasury, but this amendment turned it into the speech police. Two other House members are also trying to change the law. These efforts give advocates hope that the Trump administration will return free speech rights to churches and other nonprofits.
2017 is going to be the year it goes.
Reporting from Capitol Hill, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Finland has launched a new socialist experiment guaranteeing citizens a monthly income. It's the first country in Europe to promise cash to unemployed citizens even after they find a job. The Scandinavian country is offering $587 per person for 2,000 people. Leaders in Finland hope their experiment will cut government red tape and boost employment. Those who receive the money will not be required to report how they spend it or if they get a job. Finland's unemployment rate is about 8%. Celebrities and now even Christian artists are joining the bandwagon against gospel singer Kim Burrell for her sermon condemning homosexuality. In a Facebook post, gospel artist Yolanda Adams wrote, "Hateful words are never profitable to the cause of Christ in the world. Jesus said they will know you by your love." The backlash comes as Burrell prepares to perform a song from the soon-to-be-released film Hidden Figures on The Ellen DeGeneres Show Thursday. Burrell has responded to the controversy, saying she has never discriminated against gays, while also adding, "I love you and God loves you, but God hates the sin." Coming up, seeing Jerusalem the way Jesus saw it. We'll take you along for this special trip back in time to the cradle of Christianity. Welcome back. If 2017 is like other years in the past, thousands of Christians will visit biblical sites in Israel. Now, one tour uses ancient artifacts to bring to life more details from the time of Jesus. Chris Mitchell brings us that story from Jerusalem.
Have you ever wondered what Jerusalem looked like 2,000 years ago when Jesus walked the earth? This giant model of Jerusalem from the Second Jewish Temple period begins the Cradle of Christianity tour. Visitors to the Israel Museum see artifacts that will enhance stories from the Bible.
This is Jerusalem that Jesus knew. This is Jerusalem that Herod the Great built.
Senior curator David Meverock said the model will give Christians a better perspective of specific areas mentioned in Scripture.
Right behind me is the temple and the Temple Mount, the largest monument in the city. The model, built in a scale of 1 to 50, shows these important sites that Jesus goes through. For instance, on my left are the pools of Bethesda, where Jesus performs one of his miracles of healing. It's all in the surrounding of this city, which has only one temple for one God.
The famous shrine of the book housing the Dead Sea Scrolls is the next stop. The scrolls include the oldest copies of books of the Hebrew Bible. And then there's the Temple Mount.
We still have the supporting walls of the Temple Mount. The Wailing Wall is the western wall of the support of this huge project, but only very few finds were left from the buildings itself.
2 important artifacts from there are part of the tour.
One of them is an inscription in Hebrew, a sign for the priest to stand and blow the horn for the entrance of Saturday, meaning the time to cease work, and again at the exit of Saturday when you can resume work. The other sign is in Greek. It is the perimeter that surrounded the temple itself in the Temple Mount, with signs in Greek and in Latin forbidding Gentiles to enter the temple itself.
According to Meverock, it's rare to find artifacts that directly relate to historical figures.
In the case of the trial and crucifixion of Jesus, we've been extremely lucky. 3 finds relate directly to the story and to the details, and 2 of them relate directly to the most important people in these final days of Jesus.
One is an ossuary, a burial bone box inscribed with Joseph, son of Caiaphas, the high priest.
We are almost 100% sure that this is the Caiaphas that we know from the stories in the New Testament, the high priest that arrests Jesus and turns him into the Romans for his trial.
The second is a stone bearing the name of Pontius Pilate. And perhaps the most interesting artifact for Christians is evidence of the Roman practice of crucifixion, found in a bone box.
This is the only find in the whole world of actual crucifixion.
And what do visitors have to say?
Just seeing the artifacts made it come alive, and to see what I've read about made it come alive in my life.
To see so many artifacts of world history and of our Christian faith in one place so quickly, and to be able to comprehend it so quickly is just really amazing, and it really confirms our faith. It confirms what the Bible teaches us, and teaches us the place of our Christian faith within world history context. It's outstanding.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, the Israel Museum, Jerusalem.
I'd love to see that exhibit in person. Well, up next, showing love to the least of these, how this woman is helping some of the UK's poorest citizens. Thanks for staying with NewsWatch. A mother in the UK was given one of her country's highest awards. The Queen made June Ross a member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire. So how did this woman reach extraordinary heights? It started with listening to the voice of God. Wendy Griffith has her story.
There was tremendous loss of
Former British mental health worker turned stay-at-home mom, June Ross, was vacuuming her rug one day in 2004 when something unexpected happened.
I heard a very distinct voice, "I'm going to feed you with manna." And I thought, manna? Where did I hear that from? And actually I remembered the story of the children of Israel when they left Egypt and God made provisions with the manna.
All her life, June had read the Bible. She was a pastor's daughter and had been raised in the church. She knew from studying the scriptures that God spoke to people through dreams and visions.
His very announcement of his birth came through a dream.
June says God told her to prepare for a worldwide economic event 4 years in the future. She would be needed to help feed people.
I heard the Lord start to say people are going to be losing their jobs. They won't be able to afford to feed their families. I thought, okay, God, I don't know how this is going to be done, but I'll just be obedient.
3 weeks later, June had a vivid dream with images of a crown, a purple piece of fabric, and food moving rapidly.
I dreamt I was standing in front of a supermarket. This time I had a crown on my head and like a purple robe, and my hands was outstretched. And as I looked in my hands, food was coming out at a very phenomenal rate. I didn't understand that either, but that dream again was very profound.
The dream was so stirring that June purchased a little tiara and purple fabric to symbolize the images she saw and put them in a box for safekeeping. Because of the dream and the vision, June went out and asked local retailers questions about their unsold food.
I said, "What do you do with your surplus food?" And they basically said, "Oh, we throw it away." And I thought, oh, well, I would like to come and collect it. Some volunteers, I can put everything in place, contracts and everything else. And they were fine. It was just amazing. They were very welcoming because obviously retailers don't want to throw away their food. They realized that, you know, it could go to better use.
For the next 2 years, June's home became the hub of food distribution to the needy in her local community.
It literally started with about maybe 10 volunteers, and it started from my home. I would have volunteers helping me to go to the supermarkets, bringing all these crates. I mean, there was no space in the house. There was crates on the stairs, crates in the kitchen. It was just jam-packed.
Soon, June named and registered her charity, Esther Community Enterprise.
Word got around, and to the point, it was nearly over 4,000 people in and out, coming into my home. The poor is God's heart. When we kind of look at Jesus' ministry, it was always with those people that didn't have any high regards in society.
Then, in 2008, just like in June's vision, a global financial crisis and recession hit.
There was tremendous loss of jobs. There was a lot of people literally didn't have anything to eat. So everything, what he showed me, literally came to pass. We started having people coming to join different churches, organizations, can we be affiliated? As they came and joined us, the food was distributed in the different communities.
By late 2008, Esther Community Enterprise was feeding 17,000 people a month. It was like in the Bible when the Israelites collected manna in the wilderness every morning. June's volunteers quickly got the surplus food to the hungry before the sell date.
An amazing team, army of volunteers. By then there was about 300 amazing people. They sacrificed their time, their finances. And so the volunteers really are the main core of what we actually do.
June says the most wonderful time for her and her volunteers was the special packages made at Christmas.
We're up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and families are waiting for their little parcels to come through, and the tears. There's no words for that. Because everybody needs to eat. No one should be feeling hungry. So when you actually knock at the door, you see these children getting so excited. Oh, Mommy, look, it's here. It's worth it.
By 2011, June's journey to feed hungry people in the UK landed her at one of the most famous addresses in the world, Buckingham Palace.
It was just such a beautiful experience, going through the palace and out into the gardens.
June, representing Esther Community Enterprise, was honored with the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service. The MBE honor is the highest award given to voluntary groups in the United Kingdom.
There was a certificate given, signed by the Queen herself. What was nice was the fact that part of it said that we bestow favor, which is what the journey that Esther went on when she received favor from the King. In my instance, I received it from the Queen.
Even the award itself looked like the images and colors from her dream 7 years earlier.
I just thought, is this for real? Is this really happening? And to see how God brings the pieces together of our lives, even when we don't understand what He's doing, He has a way of bringing things together.
Today, Esther Community Enterprise serves approximately 25,000 needy people per month all over the UK with quality food.
I'm privileged that God could ask me to do this. It's all about servanthood. That should be our heart. We are called as servants.
Finally today, meet Jason and Ashley Keene. Jason loves coming home to his wife and family, but he also loves going to work. Jason is thankful that he has a job because not long ago he was unemployed and burning through his life savings. Then Operation Blessing stepped in to help.
The Keene household is always full of energy, especially when Dad gets home.
It's a very joyous event when I come home. They've missed me all day, and it's evident when I walk in. And it's just a blessing to come through the door and be greeted by a happy family.
The times weren't always easy for this family of 6. After 17 years with the same company, Jason was let go due to downsizing.
After I lost my job, it was really challenging. We were facing a long time without any real reliable source of income.
It was really hard after he'd been unemployed for more than 3 months, and we had no money, and we had no money coming in, and we had to start living on the credit cards.
While Jason sent out resume after resume, He and his wife Ashley used all of their resources keeping the family afloat. They quickly went through their life savings.
If I didn't get a job soon, we were going to have to make some hard decisions.
We had such a tiny, finite amount of real money in the bank account. So in trying to hold on to that for real bills, because they will turn off your electricity and they will turn off your water. And if you don't pay them for long enough, they will come and take your house from you.
Knowing that the Keens were desperate, a friend told them about Operation Blessing partner One Heart Ministries.
It was amazing the first time that we went to One Heart Ministries, Operation Blessing. Thought it was just going to be food, and then that they had toilet paper and diapers.
Jason's job search efforts paid off when he found a job at a high-end appliance store.
In about 6 months, I went from unemployed to general manager.
And we're still helping the family as they work to get back on their feet.
It's very exciting to have an income again. It's meeting our needs right now. And with One Heart Ministries and Operation Blessing, we are meeting bills. If I could talk directly to the people who donate and support One Heart Ministries and Operation Blessing, I would tell them thank you. I appreciate what you're doing for us.
And you can find more about how Operation Blessing is helping people by going to their website at ob.org. That's it for now on CBN NewsWatch. Hope you'll join us next time. Have a great day.